Welcome to Brazos Matters. I'm Jay Sokol. One of the biggest perks of KAMU Studios being located on the Texas A&M campus is the energy and the vibe from everyone around me who is forever 18 to 22 years old and has perfect skin. That's just how it is. But because I mostly walk from place to place, I routinely spot groups of parents and kids or school groups or some other collection of people being led around and being shown some highlights of the campus and being taught about A&M's most important traditions. Well, the people leading those tours are students, and they are members of the Howdy Crew. The Howdy Crew is just one aspect of the work that's done every day by Texas A&M's Appelt Aggieland Visitor Center. And we're going to learn more about that and why it matters to the success of our university and to the economy of Bryan College Station and beyond. So my guest is A&M's Director of Visitor Experience, Kelli Hollinger. Howdy, Kelli.
Howdy, Jay.
I had to say howdy to you.
Well, of course, it is our official greeting and welcome here at Texas A&M University, and that is how we kick off all tour experiences with an enthusiastic howdy.
So I have a few notes on questions and things, and this one is tucked in at the very end. But because we just started out with howdy, do we say howdy enough on this campus right now? Because it was a big deal when I was in school a long time ago.
I think we could always say it more, but I'm joyed every time I walk across the campus. And like you, I'm a walker, so I get to interact with students on a regular basis. And that's something that sets Texas A&M apart truly as an incredibly friendly institution, is that we say howdy back. We look people in the eye. We smile. If they look lost, our students will stop. How can I help you get where you're going? And there's an authenticity to that. And when our guests who come in from all over the world to tour Texas A&M, sometimes when they hear howdy for the very first time, they rumple their eyebrows a little bit. It sounds a little different. By the end of hopefully an immersive experience that has helped them get excited about what makes Texas A&M unique, they're saying howdy at the end of their day too.
Yeah, there really is something about the word on this campus that does make a difference for the reasons you just said. But you know, I know of somebody who has seen groups on this campus in severe disagreement with one another. Loudly representing their opinions, and each person who was speaking would start off with howdy, and everybody would say howdy back no matter what side of that argument they were on. And I know I'm being vague, but the point is, no matter what your background is or your mindset or what have you, it's a unifying word on this campus. And so I think you guys are probably doing more to keep it alive than maybe anybody else.
We do our part, but we are part of an entire ecosystem of enthusiastic members of the Division of Enrollment Management, from recruiters to those on the visitor experience team to Advise Texas out in our high schools to community representatives. We're all working together to ensure that anyone who is interested in Texas A&M, those prospective students who are considering how college can be possible for them, they know that they can find belonging at Texas A&M University, that while we're big, that means there's a place for everyone. And we want to showcase all of those high-level core values during a tour experience, and then spend the time that we have. The traditional tour is an hour and a half, really actively listening to those prospective students and families who are on tours so that we can hear about what they're looking for in a university, in a higher education experience, and then be enough of experts on Texas A&M campus so that we can personalize that tour experience and really let them know, if you're looking for belonging through the arts, here's some pathways. If you're looking for belonging through intramural activities, what about through outdoor activities? The great thing about an institution of our size is the diversity of options that can make for a rewarding experience.
So before we start diving into the operations of the Visitor Center, tell me how and when Texas A&M first became part of your life and your world.
Amazingly, Texas A&M came on my radar when I was a high school student from out of state, and I was invited to attend a recruitment program over summer. The kind of recruitment programs that my office now host for few thousand invited students every year. And even visiting with one of my colleagues yesterday, he said, there is an advisor, a high school counselor coming in from your hometown in Louisiana. And I said, wow. That shows just the depth of relationships, the time and investment that A&M is making to be known in Texas and beyond and around the world. And I knew when I came to visit Texas A&M for an undergraduate that I wanted to end up here. My life twisted and turned, and I got here for graduate school, but once I got here, I have never left, and that was in 1999.
Perfect. Okay, so talk a little bit about the depth and the breadth of what the Appelt Aggieland Visitors Center provides.
Our core service is the daily campus tour experience. This is hospitality for campus visitors coming to College Station Monday through Friday. And for our website, they will have options to really build their own adventure day in Aggieland. And with having nearly 90 tour guides on staff on the Howdy crew, we host an awful lot of campus tours, but we understand that's not just the only thing that individuals want to see when they're exploring and considering a college. They want to hear from admissions. How do I apply? How can I prepare? They're interested in their academic colleges. So is there an overview of a school or academic program that they could also see so they could explore the facilities, maybe see the labs? Is there a Starbucks close to their primary classroom?
That's important.
It is important. And then it will make some other recommendations on our website for them really to round out the day the way that they want to. Do they want to dine on campus? What about maybe an ice cream in Aggie Park? The George Bush Presidential Library is an incredible local resource, and we encourage that exploration of the Bryan College Station community while they're here visiting us.
But that's not all you do. That's not, according to what I've looked into, like that's a monster part of what you do, but that's not everything you do.
Yes, we want to.
I mean, you guys are into, what I understand, you are event planners and you execute these large-scale events at times. I mean, it's a lot more than I think the average person would suspect. Am I right?
It is, and I guess we provide such a humble service to the university that it feels a bit awkward to brag, but thank you. Give me the excuse, and I will.
This is safe space.
Celebrate
you can brag.
The achievements of the amazing students on the Howdy crew and the staff at the Visitor Center. Yes, as a team of only 5 full-time professionals and 90 students, we host these daily tour experiences, host about 8,000 students coming in through school group visits. In fiscal year 2023, we organized and executed between 45 and 50 invited student programs, as well as one that people hopefully know the most, and that is our largest open house event, Aggieland Saturday.
Yeah, which has grown like crazy since its inception, right?
It has grown like gangbusters, and this is something that is another way that is differentiated for Texas A&M University. Other institutions are rolling back on their open house experiences, whereas ours is in fact growing, and I think that's reflective that Texas A&M wants to be welcoming for all and to give families opportunity to really see some of the niche programs that all come out for Aggieland Saturday. Yes, you can still get a campus tour, learn how to be admitted, or see a demonstration from the Corps of Cadets, but you may also see our Ballet Folklorica performers. There's tractor pull demonstrations, there's dinosaur digging, there are chemistry shows and explosive physics teaching. It really is an incredibly interactive day that we want to be memorable for families coming in. And we hear often that families are bringing, say, a freshman and a junior. And 2 years from now, I hope that junior is then a freshman Aggie, but then that freshman in high school is now a junior and saying, that was so much fun. I want to come back again. But this time, I'm not just thinking about, is college possible? I really want to go to those academic sessions. I want to meet with the student organizations. I'm in a different stage of my college consideration and decision-making process. So let's go back again because I'm going to learn a lot, but it sure was a fun day for me to be on campus.
How many thousands of people come to Aggieland Saturday?
For 2024, we had a registration record of 24,000 guests.
Wow. Wow. And did you say you have 5 full-time staff? That's it?
That is all.
And 90-ish volunteers, student volunteers?
Our students on the Howdy Crew are employees of Texas A&M University. They're student workers.
Yeah.
They will work an average of 6 to 7 hours a week, and some of the leaders in the organization on the team or working in the back office will then work a few more hours than that.
That's amazing. By the way, when is Aggieland Saturday? Is the 2024 Aggieland Saturday, has that already happened?
2024, yes. It has been traditionally the first weekend Saturday in February, and that is the date for 2025. Mark your calendars for February the 8th. Invitations and announcements will start going out in November, but we will be doing some rebranding, and we will, in fact, be extending into new Friday programming because, not sure if you've caught it, that's going to be the Saturday after the first Friday in February. So we're very pleased with our local community partnerships and are excited to work with Destination Bryan to promote really a weekend in Aggieland where you get to see and experience the local community and then see how you can fit into the Texas A&M academic community on Saturday.
Oh, that's great. That is going to be a great weekend. So you talked about branding quite a bit in these first few minutes, but I think I've read where you refer to your operations as being brand ambassadors for the university. So what does that mean to you, and does that ever change or evolve over time?
At the heart of it, our tour guides become the face of Texas A&M for a prospective student to really see and evaluate for themselves. I've heard they're super friendly. I've heard they're nice. Is what I saw online or in a video or on social media, is that really accurate? And we want our students to be well-versed so that they can accurately communicate information to students, but ultimately we hire for nice. We hire for people who embody our core values and that we would then trust in that very public role to showcase the university to the 80,000 visitors annually that we proudly serve.
So there have to be some key points that your Howdy Crew are trained to focus on. What are those key points?
Well, we kick off every tour with an explanation of our core values: respect, excellence, leadership, loyalty, integrity, and selfless service. We want to lead into what makes Texas A&M different. We also heavily lean into our traditions, and that has been something that on exit surveys for years, and in fact the recent student experience survey of our current students confirmed that when prospective students are thinking about, do I want to attend Texas A&M, it's our traditions and academics that really sets the university apart. So that survey recently validated a lot of what we talk about on the campus tour, but tour guides are also evaluated on, did they connect with every individual who is a member of their group? So while they talk a lot and are accountable to share a lot of information, they are also expected to actively listen and then respond and communicate with each student with some information that is truly individual to what they want to learn.
Great. If you just tuned in, I'm Jay Sokol. You're listening to Brazos Matters. My guest today is Kelli Hollinger, Director of Visitor Experience at Texas A&M's Appelt Aggieland Visitor Center. So you have a long history with A&M's Center for Retailing Studies at the Mays Business School. How has that helped you with this current role?
In the Department of Marketing and in the Center for Retailing Studies, I had an ample opportunity to study and then teach about brand expression excellence in customer service, exceeding expectations. And my personal interest was particularly in brands that brought the store experience to life. That really, you go into a store to make a memory, whether it was American Girl or even a Starbucks. It's beyond just grabbing that item off the shelf and walking out the door. You can do that incredibly effectively online. But what about stores where you find yourself shopping because it's a joy? Is it because someone at the Container Store really wanted to find you an incredible storage solution? Is it someone that REI didn't want to just sell you a canoe? They want you to know where the nearest lake is and how to get instructions and really embrace this new outdoor lifestyle. Right. That was what my particular interest was in retailing, and I had incredible opportunities over, almost 15 years to work with faculty who I respected and many industry professionals. And then this opportunity came up, and as I looked at it, I genuinely in my heart felt this may be an opportunity to do that for the university that I love, to be that place where you can bring Texas A&M alive into the hearts and minds of prospective students, of former students, of donors or other dignitaries coming in to visit. And that was an incredible opportunity. And it's really a service that I'm incredibly proud and grateful to be part of.
Yeah. The economic impact of the Aggieland Visitor Center. Hotel nights are obvious of primary importance to our cities, that hotel occupancy tax revenue. Those midweek stays are very difficult to secure. Talk about the economic impact that your group is able to have.
On every exit survey, we ask our family unit visitors some questions about their time in the community. Did they stay in an area hotel? If yes, did they stay one night? Did they stay 2 nights? And with more than 5 years of data asking this question, we've really been consistent with the incredible number that 40% of our family unit guests will report staying overnight. Out of that chunk, more than 11%, in fact, stay 2 or more nights. So this means that they're spending money in our area hotels. They're likely going to local restaurants. When they realize they've forgotten something, they're headed to Academy or to Walmart or to hopefully other independent retailers to get an idea of flavors of entrepreneurship here in the local community. And because we provide a Monday through Friday service, that means that our hotel guests are coming in Sunday night through Thursday night. Many of our community visitors are coming in on the weekends for athletic events or kids tournaments or other things. So for being an economic partner in terms of tourism, the Visitor Center is a very consistent year-round driver of hotel occupancy on some of perhaps the slower nights of the week. And that gives us a chance to really give back and invest in a fantastic local community. The Visitor Center also coordinated invited student overnight stays and had previously also been in charge of making some hotel bookings to accommodate for some of those overnight stays.
I see. So where are some opportunities? You have obviously evolved the Visitor Center into what it is today, and you're doing this with a super small staff, full-time staff. Where are the opportunities, that you would like to get to eventually? May take some additional resources, but what opportunities do you see to make the economic impact even greater, to do even more and better things?
Sure. We have a big, beautiful campus. So one day I would love to see opportunity to launch tours at locations beyond our central hub.
Oh, yeah.
It's hot in Texas, and we can only walk folks so far from our headquarters in Rudder Tower. But what would it be like to have a West Campus tour and discovery experience? What about something launching from Zachary? Particularly looking at more community engagement opportunities with the Appelt Center and ability for us to just continue to grow to meet the demand. Really, I know if we had more students and a bit more space, there are still thousands of guests who would love to visit Texas A&M, but we can only serve as many as we can right now.
Have you injected that little idea of a second location into, the administration? Are they kind of mulling this over a little bit?
Yes, Jay.
All right. No, it's a great idea because I think, is it officially called the Zachary Engineering Center? Is that what it's called?
Zachary Engineering Education Complex.
Thank you. It is a show place now. It was not when I was in school, but that's a big stop on the Howdy Cruise tour, correct?
Zachary is more than a mile from Rudder Tower, so currently it is not on the core
the main
university campus tour. And the College of Engineering has their own crew to showcase that beautiful Zachary facility, and they regularly welcome guests. But I would love to see an ability for us to showcase consistently more across the entirety of campus.
Right.
But some immediate goals are really looking to continue to expand the volume of service on high traffic days. Today we're chatting, and in fact, it's what I call a Football Friday.
Right.
And that means that for our family unit visitors, we had more than 850 guests registered, plus school groups attending, and then many folks will just come on their own because visiting campus on a Football Friday, it is electrifying.
Okay, so now you have me thinking, because this idea of putting, let's say, a second location near Zachary on that side of campus, great idea. What about West Campus? I'm not even sure that's on your main tour route, is it?
No. So we are.
It is not.
No. And with publicly stated plans for the Visitor Center to expand into the Appelt Center planned on West Campus, that is an incredible opportunity for Howdy Crew to showcase East and West Campus and be part of the continued growth of the university for both East and West Campus schools, colleges, programs, and opportunities.
Yeah. That's exciting. So you talked a little bit, you cited some numbers just a little bit ago, and I know you collect and analyze data to reveal effectiveness and areas that can be improved. Is there other visitor center data that you could talk about that's guiding you to do certain things or maybe to stop doing certain things?
Sure. Those are questions that we ask. What was your favorite thing on the campus tour? And then, hey, is there anything we could do better, or should we leave off? And resoundingly still, the energy of the student, it carries the day because they can communicate with passion about our traditions and what makes Texas A&M special. All data will tell you, your people are going to remember only a tiny fraction of the information that you share with them, but they will remember, did you make them feel important? Mm-hmm. Did you really see them individually? And as we lean into our enrollment goals of fostering that sense of belonging, we do a lot of teaching to our student employees about professional soft skills so that they can connect with others. And that's a soft skill that will help them be successful in their job today on the Howdy Crew and in recruitment, and of course in their long-term career goals, because they'll be stronger communicators because of their time as a tour guide.
I will say, full disclosure, my son got to be part of the Howdy Crew. You're very kind to let him do that. What was that? I think it was the spring of 2020, maybe. I mean, COVID was setting in. I think he was wearing a mask like all of your tour guides were. That was a rough time. But the skills he gained as a Howdy Crew member have helped him. He still carries those with him. And I think those were key for his development as a college student and as a young man. So I understand what you're describing.
It's a joy for me to work around students as someone who's had a long tenure here at the university. That's what's motivating. That's what gets me up every day is to see the potential of our college students really grow into the adults they're going to become and to play a small role in helping them become better communicators, storytellers, customer service reps. Will they be leaders because they're in charge of a group? We want them to practice agile thinking. You know, you're leading a group of, say, 8th graders and all the lawnmowers are going right in front of you. Perhaps there is an expressive activity with people showcasing some of their ideas and you may not agree with them. How does that tour guide take control in leadership to be seen as the leader of the group, be trusted by total strangers who have come in to experience campus so that they can really own that role as a brand ambassador?
Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. So as we're starting to run a little bit short on time, what have I not asked you that you want to make sure people know about the visitor center or any events coming up? You tell me. Or did we do a fair job of covering everything?
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
And I hope if there's a listener who says, I've never been on a campus tour, can I go? I'm a townie, I'm local. I would say absolutely. We really want you to come because even if you're a former student or think you know all there is to know about Texas A&M, there's an individual who's going to guide you through campus and you will get to know their personal experiences as a student. And they're living in the community too, alongside you, and they can share from the perspective of a student here today. What is it that it makes them love the university? What is it that makes them excited to live in Bryan College Station? Where do they get their favorite cup of coffee, good burger, or breakfast taco? And interacting with young people is truly what's motivating about the job. We're here to serve the public, open 5 days a week. So whether you're local, whether you think you know us, or you haven't been back for a tour in 20 years, you're invited.
Real fast, what's your favorite part of the tour, of the campus tour? What is your favorite spot or favorite fact?
I have a heart share for the finale at the 12th Man Plaza. Part of this is because my office is on the 3rd floor of Rudder and I can hear some of our tour guides. And that gives me joy to go, they are bringing that much energy, not just to that one tour experience, but I know who's on the Friday at 2 o'clock every week. And it's because they have to deliver every time. They may be on their 100th tour, but for that prospective student, it might just be one shot. So they've got to give it their all. And we hire for people who understand that important mission.
I love that. Kelli Hollinger, thank you so much for being here.
I enjoyed it, Jay.
Brazos Matters is a production of Aggieland's Public Radio, 90.9 KAMU FM, a member of Texas A&M University's Division of Marketing and Communications. Our show is engineered and edited by Matt Dittman. All Brazos Matters episodes are available on YouTube and on podcast platforms like Spotify, Apple, iHeart, and Amazon Music. Also on the NPR app and the KAMU website. We'd love for you to rate and review and subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm Jay Sokol. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks also for listening. Hope you have a wonderful day.